Hello again, this is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener, and today we're going to talk about 10 different ways that you can use dry stream beds in your landscape. Now, a dry stream bed is something that is manufactured in a landscape that's meant to look like a stream bed, but without any water running through it constantly. So that's why it's called a dry stream bed. And it comes in all shapes and sizes, as you have seen in previous videos, and we're going to look at some of those again in this video. Some of them are really big. They can be 50 feet long by 5 feet wide. Some of them are really kind of tiny and narrow, just hug little parts of the landscape. So let's talk about all the different ways you can use them in your landscape. So the first and most important way a dry stream bed functions is to redirect storm runoff. I love to connect it to a downspout with like a rain chain, and then the water will come out of there in a heavy rainstorm and run along that. And it's important because it serves to filter some of the pollutants before they get to the street. It's really an important part of the ecosystem to keep the pollutants from running into the stream. So again, diverting rainwater before it gets to the street is a really important aspect of a dry stream bed. Now, the next thing that's kind of neat about it, if you live somewhere where you get a lot of rainfall, is it becomes a natural water feature. So it's a nice way, it directs that rainfall and becomes kind of a cool water feature. You can actually build a little pond at the end and let that pond fill up in the rainy season, and that creates all kinds of fun aspects of a landscape as well. So it's a nice little way to have a water feature without having all the running water or electricity or pump as well. So that's kind of a cool thing about having a dry stream bed, is that when you have that winter rains, if you live in a spot that gets rainy in the winter, you get a little bit of a nice water feature. Now, you can also use it in miniature form. So you can use it in a small garden, and if you have it in a small garden, add some different colored pebbles. So what you see in this garden are some Mexican beach pebbles, which are black and gray and come in different sizes. And then you kind of saw how I built this one in the previous video, how to build a dry stream bed. But if you have a small little garden, you can have a little baby dry stream bed and make it interesting with some different rocks in the dry stream bed. And again, what you see in that one, in this bed here, are the Mexican beach pebbles, but there are lots of other cool rocks out there you can use for a little miniature dry stream bed. Next, another way you can use it is if you have a big hunk of artificial turf, break it up with a dry stream bed. Really kind of think outside the box. It's kind of a neat way to use the dry stream bed, and that you can still break up the artificial bed and have a little bit of a stormwater runoff. Another cool thing is you can use recycled glass. So that's what this is made out of. This is from AS Glass. Comes in all different colors, and it's kind of a cool effect. Another way that I like to use it is to transition from a decomposed granite pathway, and then you have the dry stream bed, and then you get to a regular planter bed. So it's kind of a neat way to do it. If I have a really big slope, and this is very commonly used in San Diego, you put a dry stream bed at the top of the slope, and that kind of helps keep the water from running down the slope, especially one that borders a sidewalk like you see there. If you have a really big landscape, it's kind of a neat way to connect all the different parts of the landscape. This garden I did was a really large garden. We had a 4-hole putting green, a children's play area, and then finally a patio, and we tied it all together with a dry stream bed that connected all the different parts. It's also kind of a unique planting opportunity. You can plant a whole bunch of plants in it. It'll still function as a dry stream bed, but it kind of breaks it up and gives it a kind of a different look to it. Depending on the plants you use, a little more natural. And finally, of course, it's a great way to give a landscape a really cool focal point in it. So when people look at the landscape, that's the first thing they notice is this cool curving dry stream bed with different kinds of rocks and colors and textures. So these are just some of the ways that you can use a dry stream bed in your landscape. So next time you're thinking about ripping out the grass and doing something different, think about having a dry stream bed to really kind of pull it all together. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. This is Doug, the 2-Minute Gardener, saying make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe to get more of my garden videos, and we will see you next time.